Jesus, man, this not what the life we trying to live though, for real. And they had to shoot the whole car up.
I go to a halfway house, I gotta have gun because everybody up on who I am. You know what I'm saying? They know who I'm with. You know what I'm saying? They know who I'm always rolling with. You get what I'm saying? So just in the when people know, oh, Lil Kenny here, oh, Lil Kenny at the halfway house. You know what I'm saying? It just words get.
Bodies been dropping nonstop in Memphis ever since Young Dolph got taken out, and now one of his old crew members is turning the city even hotter. Be on the lookout for BEO Lil Kenny, fresh out the feds and already making noise in the rap game. But here's what most fans don't know. His comeback might be triggering a whole new wave of street drama, and it's getting so real, his crew just got slapped with a Rico case. Most people only started hearing about BEO Lil Kenny after he linked up with Quality Control Records, but in Memphis, he's been known for a minute. And word on the street is there's a major price on his head right now. But before we get into which crews are allegedly getting caught up and why both Yo Gotti and the feds are coming for him, you gotta understand how Lil Kenny rose up in the first place. Lil Kenny reps the south side of Memphis and came up with his homie, Stupid Duke. Together they started a crew called Young Mob, and both of them were spitting bars from early on. Back then, Yo Gotti was already running the southern rap scene, but Kenny and his crew had no beef with him, not at the start anyway. Rumor is Lil Kenny actually wanted to work with Gotti. Supposedly, both crews ended up in the same club one night. Kenny tried to chop it up with Gotti about doing a track together. But then things took a wild turn. Allegedly, Gotti's crew started throwing water at the Young Mob squad. That's when the tension really started bubbling, and it never cooled off since.
Man, you know, Dolph, they were my partner, bro. But it just was like, man, before we you talk, even though I was in jail, you know what I'm saying? We used to keep a little contact here and there, you know what I'm saying? And then look, of course, he used to be, BO, this what we gonna do? Just go and get home, you know what I'm saying?
Back in 2010, things really blew up when Lil Kenny's homie OG, Boo Dirty, got into it with Yo Gotti outside a Memphis club. What started as just some arguing turned into chaos quick. One dude tried to step in and calm it down, but OG Boo Dirty wasn't having it. He straight up punched the guy, and that's when all hell broke loose. Both sides pulled out heat and started letting off shots right there in the street. Lil Kenny was in the mix too when it all went down. The cops swarmed in and ended up arresting everybody. OG Boo Dirty took a bullet in the backside but made it out alive. Not everybody was so lucky though. Someone else got hit and didn't survive. And just to make it messier, OG Boo Dirty is actually Stupid Duke's blood brother, which meant now it wasn't just personal, it was family. After that wild night, Young Mob had major beef with Yo Gotti and his CMG crew, and the drama didn't stop with that shooting either. Lil Kenny had deeper problems with Gotti beyond just the street stuff. See, Kenny was tight with Young Dolph, and he always said, Dolph was one of the only real ones in the city who never turned his back on me. When Kenny kept catching charges and the streets started doubting him, Dolph was the one still holding him down. Lil Kenny was chasing rap dreams, but he never fully left the streets behind. While others stopped believing in him, Dolph kept telling him to stay focused and never quit. That loyalty ran deep, and it made things even messier between Kenny, Gotti, and the whole city. Lil Kenny probably would have ended up signing with Dolph's Paper Route label if things had gone different. But then life took a hard left. Kenny got locked up for 4.5 years, and by the time he got out, Dolph was already gone. But Dolph's death wasn't the only shift in the streets. Things had already started unraveling way before that. OG Boo Dirty, the same dude who sparked that first big blow up between Young Mob and Yo Gotti, had caught Gucci Mane's attention. After Gucci signed him, Boo Dirty dropped a straight up diss aimed at Gotti and his crew. On the track he rapped, "F these rappers, I expose these dudes. All these goons can't hold these dudes."
You wouldn't be nothing if we weren't moving how we were moving. He made you. Yeah, of course you don't feel the way we feel. You ain't never slid.
Red, white, and blue, you the police, dude. Shady, get the fire, put a hole in the dude. It was raw, direct, and lit up the streets. But a few years later, Boo Dirty switched up. He actually squashed the beef with Gotti. That move didn't sit right with Lil Kenny at all. And Boo Dirty wasn't the only one making peace. More and more folks who used to ride with Young Mob started flipping sides. Even Moneybagg Yo had some history with Young Mob and Dolph back in the day, but he ended up signing with Gotti and started chilling heavy with a crew called KSBG, the same crew that was beefing hard with Young Mob. KSBG wasn't just street, they had hitters and rappers like Big 30, so when Moneybagg linked up with Gotti, it stirred up a storm in the city. On his track Questions, Moneybagg rapped, "How you F with Gotti? He from the other side. He's my dude, man. How that happened?" Then he follows with, "Don't worry about it." That line had people talking. Allegedly, some paperwork came out saying that Moneybagg had KSBG putting in work against Young Mob. That might be why in 2021, Kenny's homie Stupid Duke almost lost his life. He was chilling outside a barbershop when the opposition rolled up and tried to take him out, but Duke made it out alive, barely dodging what could have been his last day. Fast forward to 2023, and things hit a whole new level of wild. Stupid Duke and a few Young Mob members allegedly tried to snatch a chain off a rapper named Tripstar. Now, Tripstar was signed to Moneybagg Yo at the time, so that instantly made him a target for Young Mob. Word is Duke and his squad caught Tripstar lacking at a restaurant and tried to strip him of his chain right then and there. But it didn't go as planned. The whole thing exploded into a shootout. One of Stupid Duke's homies ended up getting killed in the chaos. It was a major loss for Young Mob, but they weren't the only ones catching bodies. 2 Young Mob affiliates got arrested for allegedly gunning down Cheese Dollar, a close homie of Big Dirty. The back and forth between Young Mob and KSBG was getting deadly, fast. And get this, a Stupid Duke got booked for the shootout where his homie died just months after finishing a 9-year sentence. He wasn't even out for a full year before landing back behind bars. That same year, 2023, was absolutely insane when it came to the war between Young Mob and KSBG. Young Mob allegedly caught a body on a KSBG member named Big Greg. Not long after, KSBG allegedly slid back and took out 2 Young Mob guys, Mick Moda and TJ. The streets were bleeding from both sides, and it wasn't slowing down one bit. Then 2024 came with a whole new blow. The feds stormed in and hit Young Mob with a massive case. Authorities claimed the crew was moving fentanyl, meth, and weed all through Memphis. And when they raided the stash spots, they found nearly 30 guns. On top of that, cops said Stupid Duke was literally calling in hits over the phone. They arrested 18 alleged Young Mob members in that sweep, but even that wasn't the end. While the streets were heating up and Duke was back behind bars, BEO Lil Kenny had just come home and started buzzing in the rap game again. But he might have gone too far because he allegedly self-snitched on one of the wildest murders Memphis has seen. Getting locked up for nearly 5 years definitely slowed Lil Kenny down, but not for long. As soon as he touched down, he jumped straight back into the booth.
You stick to it, stick to the plan, you're gonna make it happen, bro. It just set in stone this way. Just stay at it. You know what I'm saying? Keep working, stay at it. It's gonna show up, you know what I'm saying?
At first, he was stuck in a halfway house, but he knew staying in Memphis wasn't an option. Young Mob had beef all over the city, and Lil Kenny said straight up that if he stayed in that halfway house in Memphis, he would have needed a strap just to stay alive, because the ops would have been hunting him. See, Moneybagg Yo and OG Boo Dirty might have squashed their beef with Yo Gotti and a few other rivals, but Lil Kenny, he wasn't having none of that. He didn't want peace, he wanted smoke. And when OG Boo Dirty linked up with Finesse 2 times, after Finesse had dissed Young Mob, that was the last straw for Kenny. He went off on IG calling Boo Dirty out in front of everyone. Lil Kenny blasted Boo Dirty, saying he was never built for the streets and that's why he had no problem chilling with the ops. Boo Dirty and Finesse 2 times dropped a track called Real Recognize Real, where Boo Dirty claimed people were trying to force him into beefing with Finesse, but Kenny wasn't buying it. He clapped back with a diss track titled Nadine, and he went off the rails with the disrespect. On the track, he dragged up the night Boo Dirty, and Yo Gotti got into it outside the club, and Boo Dirty got shot in the behind. Kenny mocked him with bars like, "Back when I was with you, you was a gangster, now you a booty shaker. You ain't do nothing, got shot in the ass, now you're booty faker. You ain't stepped when your chain got snatched. That make you a fake gangster. Hopped in the car with your mask on backwards, boy, you a real prankster. Calling someone fake is one thing, but Lil Kenny took it way further. He even clowned Boo Dirty for his day job as a football coach and threw out lines about rap capping and stolen credit. He spit, "Somebody split his wig. Every rap he said was all the stuff I did. Couldn't fool me with that football job, my dude." Kenny wasn't just throwing shade, he was setting fire to the whole room. You playing with kids now. That's what Lil Kenny fired off at OG Boo Dirty in a brutal diss, and he wasn't holding back at all. Kenny told Boo Dirty straight up that he ain't Young Mob no more and snapped, "You gonna stop throwing up that mob, my dude. That's either by choice or force." Then he hit him with more heat, saying, "Y'all hurt out here, man. My boy coming home. Stop calling around begging for his shoes. I heard you in the interrogation room giving up Blue's Clues." Kenny didn't stop there. He made it personal. He added, "You said you fell back, but truth is, don't nobody mess with you?" Even though Boo Dirty might not be rocking with Young Mob anymore, he's still Stupid Duke's blood brother. So chances are the crew won't physically go after him. But Lil Kenny, he's making it crystal clear he's got zero respect left for him. And Boo Dirty wasn't the only one in Kenny's crosshairs. Some folks believe Lil Kenny might have accidentally snitched on himself about a wild hit that went down in 2024. It happened at Yo Gotti's uncle's funeral when Gotti's own brother, Big Jook, got ambushed right in front of their mom. The ops pulled up and took him out, and the city went silent. No one got arrested, and no one came forward. But then Lil Kenny dropped the track and spit this bar. "We come to get you like bounty hunters." In front of his mama, they downed his brother. 5.56 seconds hitting at a dude. Ain't no way I could miss your fat ass stomach. That line had fans shook. Like, was he talking about Big Jook? There's no proof that Young Mob did it, but word in Memphis is Big Jook's people weren't letting it slide. Rumors say they almost got BEO Lil Kenny's manager, a guy named Chris, in what looked like a retaliation move. The tension was already insane, and Kenny's lyrics were only adding fuel to the madness. But nobody saw what was coming next, because in early 2025, some leaked paperwork dropped, and it looked real bad for Lil Kenny. A Rico case was brewing, and now the walls were closing in. In early 2025, things went left fast. Somebody on Reddit leaked what looked like paperwork from the Young Mob Rico case, and it had Lil Kenny's name all over it. According to the documents, police claimed that Kenny was paying for hits. No one knows for sure who he allegedly put the bag on, but the streets are buzzing. And the main rumor is that Kenny dropped cash to get Big Grape from KSBG taken out. There's a bunch of different stories flying around about why Big Grape was targeted and who actually pulled the trigger. But one version starts with a double R affiliate named CEO Dizzle. Dizzle was at a Lil Baby concert at the FedEx Forum when somebody let shots off inside the venue. Somehow, a gun made it through security and Dizzle took one in the chest. Luckily, he survived the hit. Word is, after getting hit, Dizzle slid on KSBG in retaliation, and Big Grape ended up dead. No one got booked for that wild shooting at the concert, but people been pointing fingers at a KSBG affiliate named J Hot as the one who fired at Dizzle. But here's where it gets even crazier. J Hot was later found dead too. Most street sources say the ops didn't get him. He got backdoored by his own people. Then it got real messy. CEO Dizzle came online and posted screenshots showing J Hot allegedly apologizing to him, like straight up admitting he shot him at the FedEx Forum. Some sources even say Young Mob was the one behind J Hot getting knocked off, making things even murkier. Then in July 2025, the hammer finally dropped. The feds officially announced they were coming for Young Mob hard. They booked Stupid Duke and 7 more affiliates in a sweeping takedown. Now, Duke and some of his day ones are staring down life sentences according to the police. The Rico is in full effect and the whole city knows it. Memphis ain't gonna be the same after this one. Back in May 2022, things were already getting bloody. 3 Young Mob members pulled up on some KSBG dudes at a McDonald's and left one of them dead right there on the spot. Then, in March 2024, Stupid Duke and one of his homies allegedly tried to slide on an op but had to dip fast because the cops were already circling the area. A couple months after that, Duke and his crew hit up a tattoo shop and robbed everybody inside. No mask, no mercy. Now, even though BEO Lil Kenny wasn't named in the Rico indictment, that doesn't mean he's in the clear. Word is, leaked paperwork shows police have evidence that Kenny was putting money down for hits. And insiders say another round of charges could be coming. The feds might not be done with Young Mob just yet. What makes it all crazier is that Stupid Duke had just caught a record deal before the feds swooped in. Lil Kenny had already signed with Quality Control Records when he came home, and Duke was building his own momentum in the rap game. They were finally getting industry looks and had a shot at leaving the streets behind. But Duke couldn't let go of the smoke. Instead of staying focused, he kept sliding on ops and robbing people all over Memphis. Now he might never make it back home again. It's wild that the cops got to Duke before the streets did. He was moving smart though. Police even had cameras posted near his crib, and footage showed Duke never let his guard down. Even when taking out the trash, he had his strap on him. Meanwhile, Lil Kenny's still out here walking free, for now. But with this kind of pressure and tension still building, folks say it's only a matter of time before he gets snatched up too. Especially if he really was putting bags on people's heads. The beef ain't dying down, it's only turning more vicious. And here's what people keep asking: how did Young Mob get hit with a Rico, but Gotti and CMG still untouched? One of the guys tied to Young Dolph's murder already testified that Big Jook paid for the hit. And it's no secret that Gotti had been beefing with Dolph for years before he was killed. Then Big Jook ends up dead too? Yeah, the streets are watching, and so are the feds. Everybody thought the feds were gonna jump on the case immediately, but so far, nothing's moved. No charges, no statements, no headlines, crickets. Still, just cause it's quiet don't mean nothing's happening. Behind the scenes, rumors are swirling heavy that the feds are quietly building a whole new Rico. This time aimed straight at Yo Gotti and CMG. And it's BEO Lil Kenny who brought all the heat back. His comeback lit the streets on fire again. And whether he meant to or not, he allegedly helped stir the pot that's boiling over in Memphis. What's wild is, when Kenny first came home, he was talking positive. He said he wanted to inspire dudes in the trenches, stay out of trouble, and go all in on music. After getting locked up at just 14 and spending years in the feds, it sounded like he was finally trying to break the cycle. He even stayed out of Memphis for a while, trying to dodge the same street life that kept dragging him back. But now, it's looking like that fresh start didn't last. The streets kept calling, and a bunch of his day one homies might never get another shot at freedom. Let us know what you think in the comments. Is Lil Kenny gonna make it out, or is it just a matter of time before the feds catch up with him too? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you want more raw street drama straight from the heart of Memphis. Drop your thoughts below, and we'll catch you in the next one.